Okay, so this is
Technical error.
part 2.
All right.
Part 2. So,
Snoop is from Long Beach.
Snoop is from Long Beach, exactly, and which is the South Bay.
Yeah.
Right. And I grew up in a time when there was a lot of gang violence, and they just didn't. It was real.
Oh yeah.
It was so real. The gang violence is real. So when I heard Snoop's video, I was like, "Oh my God!" Like he took a beat and he said, "Can I
call her
Can
this?
I do this?"
Yeah.
He took a beat first.
Yeah.
Because he knew he was about to do something that was
significant.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so all right. So Monique and I have very recently had a conversation that helped her. This is me bracing her for what I'm going to say. That helped her come to terms with her public life. Like Monique is a risk taker.
Yes.
Because she's born that way.
Yeah.
It is just in her DNA. I'm not.
She is not a risk
I'm not
taker.
risk averse.
Right.
I don't go seeking risk, but this is me
Yeah.
letting down that that guard a little bit. That said, don't at me.
Because
So-
this woman,
What?
if somebody comes against anybody this woman loves,
Oh.
she will go
Yeah, you
head
don't-
on
you don't-
into
yeah, you don't do
like
that.
she is a bulldog. Right. Okay. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so my first thought when I saw the video is I laughed because I've never heard someone called a funky, dog-headed.
Right. Yeah. It was really rigorous.
Well, the way he said it was, I mean, it was funny. Like, I
Yes.
forwarded to my husband, like, have you ever heard anybody called a dog-headed something? And then, and this was in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. Anyway, my thought is this. It's complicated. Because, Gail, just by association to Oprah, and I think we're conflating the two women, and I don't think we should do that.
That's fair. But there have been some other things about Oprah
Yeah, but
going
we're
on
talking
lately.
about this.
That's true.
Because
right.
I couldn't.
That's true. You're
Okay.
absolutely right.
So,
That's fair.
I think we're conflating the
Right.
two personalities, and by her association with Oprah, we sort of venerate these women, and for good reason.
Yes,
Like all the things
that's
you
right.
said, they've made so many strides: cultural awareness, social justice things, literacy, like
That's
all
right.
these things.
Absolutely, they
They've
have
called
changed. That's
attention
right.
to things in America, in Black America, that needed the spotlight. And no one is above reproach.
That's right.
Which is what Gail was insinuating in the interview. We have venerated Colby for a good reason. His example of excellence and competitive drive, and even his, and I don't know that he sought to redeem himself after the rape allegation, but his commitment to onwardness.
Yes,
right?
that's right.
He sort of dug in.
That's right.
And
He grew from it.
He
He
grew
learned.
from it. He did.
He tested himself.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and that,
That's right.
just not even with words, but by his example,
Right.
is something that's precious for all of us, because we will all face
That's right.
consequences of bad judgment, allegation,
Right.
whatever. Like, so, you have to know how to continue, and I think he showed us that.
That's right.
And went on to have an illustrious, second half of his career, right?
That's
like,
right.
beautiful family, blah, blah, blah. Does Snoop have the right to say exactly what he wants to say? Yep, we all do.
That's right.
And does Snoop have the right to experience the consequences for? Yep, we all do. I mean, this is just sort of, how I feel about it is this. My grandmother, Willie Flanagan, rest her soul, had this expression that she said, you can tell somebody to go to hell in such a way that they look forward to the trip.
Right. That's right.
Can you say and express the same things without like the
Right.
pause. There was something in
Right.
the pause that he
That
understood.
But to Snoop's credit, let's
Yeah.
talk about him, like Snoop. So if you ever like remember the Source Awards back in the day,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
when
Y'all ain't
Suge
got no
Knight-
love for Cali.
right? When Suge
Y'all ain't
Knight,
got no love.
right, came out and was like threatening, and Snoop knew,
Yeah.
Snoop knew,
Yeah.
to come in
Yeah.
and simmer the environment.
Yeah.
So Snoop is a wizard within.
Yeah.
Snoop
Sure.
is a wizard.
And I love him.
That's right. And so Snoop did.
I'm down with the LBC.
He did some wizardry last night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's really what happened. And it's, here's the thing that I always come to. My conversation is around the astrology. We are watching the old guard die. Capricorn is the governing force. So literally the structures that have been held in place internally are shifting now. And so we are seeing so many changes, things that we have honored and held up as, it's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
It just changes. And it's interesting. Like, I'm one of those people who doesn't respect people just because they're old.
Right. Or their title.
Right.
Or their,
I just don't care about that kind of stuff, right?
So, can I
go
ask a
ahead. Yeah.
question? All right, so getting back to the actual, was Gail out of line, out of pocket to ask those questions about Colby?
So here's the thing I have about that. I feel like Gail is entitled to do her job. Like she has a contract with CBS. CBS does not care about anything but the bottom line.
Right.
That's what these industries, that's what they care about. They don't care about your humanity. That's not how they are, that's not how they
Right.
function, right? So Gail is she's doing the job of the people who hire her,
sure,
right?
sure.
So did she do her job? Yes, she did. Was that considerate of the community? Probably not. But you have to understand where she hails from. That's it. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Right.
So the consequence of that is also this structural change. Like, so the company told her don't say anything. Like, they released the tape.
Yeah, they
told
let
her
it pass.
Right, told her don't say anything, and then she broke contract.
Yeah.
I'm sure because they told her don't do it.
Right.
So she broke contract to do what
She was Mitt Romney.
right. What? It's going down in our country, you all.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Back.
good. That's right.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So I feel like Gail is working, and I feel like that's what happens. It's like being a house Negro. Like, you work in it.
Oh, that's
That's what it is. That is
Okay.
truly what it is.
So
You
this
work for them. You work for the owners.
right. But this is my response to
Okay.
that. Like, and I'm surprised to hear you say it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you are the one forever saying, embrace your shadow, and you got to come to terms with all aspects of
Yeah.
yourself. That was, in fact, an aspect of who Kobe Bryant was.
Yes.
Right?
And he did embrace it.
Okay.
He did.
And so the question is, to us as public consumers of his
Right.
life, right?
Right.
Do we take into account that as we consider his legacy?
Yeah.
And there obviously is a camp that says, don't mention it. It was resolved. Let the man, let the legacy go on. And
By time.
okay, my thing is, can't we hold that as a part of his legacy? Can't we acknowledge this and still say, dude was complicated and we love him. He is a part of the fabric of certainly Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
The Laker legacy, basketball in general,
Yeah.
kids who he's mentored. Like,
Right.
can we acknowledge the total person?
I totally agree with that, and we only have about a minute and 15 seconds. I totally agree that we can. I just believe that the way Gail did it was very insensitive.
Okay.
Like, if you listened, I know there was a whole interview, but that cut was insensitive, and the corporation behind it does not have the sensitivity or the care
in mind. Okay.
And I do believe that we should have full conversations. Absolutely. I think there's a way to do it that is much more honoring. And there was something that Gail said when Leslie said, I knew him, or Lisa Leslie, she said, I knew, and Gail said, well, of course you wouldn't know.
Right,
like,
right.
there was something about that was not clean to me.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, like, I felt like,
Okay.
I wanted to get her.
Okay.
Like, that's how I felt. Okay.
You don't want to be in that crosshairs.
No, right? There was something that felt malicious. Anyway,
Okay.
so peace and blessings, everyone.
Peace and blessings.
This is my best friend, Nicole. Have a wonderful day. We will be back at another time. All right, bye.